Have you ever heard the phrase, more money, more problems? It sounds ridiculous, right? I mean, how could more money create more problems? Well, if you're a diligent saver, chances are eventually you might actually experience this personally. Specifically, I'm referring to required minimum distributions and the tax time bomb they create within our retirement accounts. When most of us turn 75, we'll be required to begin making withdrawals from traditional accounts like 401ks, IRAs, 457s, 403s, so that the government can begin to tax us on those balances. And the more you have in tax-deferred accounts, the higher your tax liability will be. In this video, we'll discuss a strategy you can implement now to lessen the blow of RMDs when you reach age 75. First off, let's talk about what a required minimum distribution is. An RMD is kind of like a line in the sand for the IRS. Since many retirement vehicles hold tax-deferred dollars for years without any income tax being collected from them, an RMD is an opportunity for the IRS to collect its due. So probably in the year you turn 75, it could be 72 or 73, depending on your birth date. The IRS is going to begin requiring you to take distributions from your 401k, 403b, 457, IRA, any account that has a tax-deferred balance in it, so you can pay income tax on that money. If you fail to remove your RMD, you'll be hit with a 25% penalty for each and every year you fail to take that money out of the account. This is one of the heftiest fees or penalties the IRS invokes on a retirement account. And basically what happens is the first year RMD is usually around 4% of the account balance, and it escalates each and every year as you grow older. Eventually the RMD caps out with age, but it never exceeds more than 50% of your account. So RMDs will never force you to completely liquidate those retirement accounts. Let's give an example. Let's assume that you're 75 and the previous year your IRA balance was $400,000 at the end of the year. Using the IRS's Uniform Lifetime Table, you would divide your account balance by 24.6 to determine your RMD amount for that year. This means you would have until the end of the following year to withdraw $16,260 from your account as a required minimum distribution. We've got a table on the screen that basically displays the IRS's Uniform Lifetime Table. And basically what you do is you take your age and it gives you a divisor. And you divide your account balance on December 31st of a given tax year and divide that balance by that divisor to get your RMD amount that you have to take at some point within the following tax year. As you can see, it increases as you get older, and when you reach 120 years old, the IRS stops increasing the amount. All right, so what does any of this have to do with conversions to a Roth IRA? Well, the example we gave earlier, $16,260 is probably not going to move the income tax needle one way or the other very much. But in some cases, retirees don't need their RMD to live on. They have income from Social Security or pensions or other sources, and the RMD just creates a taxable event for them that they don't even need. They'd rather keep the money in the account so it can grow more. Maybe they can leave it as an inheritance or give it away to charity or something like that. In those cases, RMDs aren't helpful, and converting your traditional balances to a Roth would be advantageous. Let's assume you have a pal named Affluent Adam. Adam's 65 years old and has $2.5 million in a traditional IRA account. In the 10 years between when Adam turned 65 and the time he turns 75, we're going to assume the account balance will grow to $4 million. With an IRA balance of $4 million when Adam's 75, he'll have to make a required minimum distribution of $162,601. Currently, that would put Adam in the 24% income tax bracket as a single filer. However, Adam will also be collecting an annual Social Security payment of $42,000, pushing him well into the 32% tax bracket. The thing is, Adam's annual expenses are only $80,000 a year. That's even after all the travel and fun stuff that he does. That means with Social Security plus the required minimum distribution, Adam will have over $120,000 in income that he doesn't even use each year. He'll have to move it out of a tax-advantaged account, pay income tax at a higher rate than he would normally, and then find another place to save it. Now don't get me wrong, Adam's got a great problem. I don't feel sorry for him either. But he also has an opportunity to deflect some of that tax liability by doing Roth conversions now. Here's how Adam could save thousands of dollars. All right, like we said, Adam is already 65 years old. He has plenty of money at $2.5 million plus Social Security to retire now, so he's going to go ahead and pull the plug and leave his work. In this case, Adam is already beyond age 59 and a half, so he can begin making penalty-free withdrawals from the IRA. So when he retires, he'll begin taking $80,000 out of the account each year for living expenses. Now, because Adam won't hit the next tax bracket, the 32% tax bracket, until his income hits $182,100, Adam can withdraw another $120,000 and convert that to a Roth IRA and stay within the 24% tax bracket. Adam will still have to pay income tax on the conversion that he does now, but it will be at the lower 24% tax bracket than it would be in retirement when he's in the 32% bracket. That's also $102,000 that he can now put into the Roth that can grow completely tax-free. So basically what Adam has done is he's taken money out of the traditional IRA account, meaning he's lowered the amount he will have to take in RMDs, he's lowered the tax amount that those RMDs will be exposed to, and he's gotten money into a Roth IRA, which will now grow tax-free. It's a big win for Adam. You don't have to be a millionaire for this to make sense either. If you look at tax brackets, they go from 10 to 12 to 22 to 24. If you get that 12 to 22 gap, if you can convert dollars in the 12 that would later be exposed to the 22% tax bracket, that's a big win too. And this is another reason it's important to control costs in retirement, because it gives you so much control over your tax liability. All right, another reason you may want to convert to a Roth IRA is for the sake of your heirs. If you plan to leave an IRA balance to anyone other than your spouse, there can be little doubt they'd prefer to receive it as a Roth IRA than as a traditional IRA. And the reason is traditional IRAs are still subject to income tax by the heirs, where Roth IRAs are not. Now, in each case, if you're a beneficiary on the IRA, you have 10 years to make the withdrawal. So with the traditional IRA, you can spread out those withdrawals, make them incrementally over time so the tax liability isn't huge. Or the Roth IRA, you can leave it in the account for 10 years and let it grow completely tax-free for another 10 years after it's inherited. And the balance will be even larger, and it will still be completely tax-free. Now, one thing to keep in mind is tax brackets of your heirs. If you are in a high tax bracket and they're in a low tax bracket, it wouldn't make much sense to pay tax to convert your traditional IRA balances to a Roth just so they can inherit it at a lower tax bracket. In other words, you'd be paying a premium in taxes to get the money into the Roth, where they could inherit as the traditional at a lower tax bracket, and you'd actually save money in the long run or leave a higher balance for them that way. Here's a few other things to keep in mind regarding IRA conversions. Okay, the first thing is the 5-year rule for Roth IRAs. Regarding conversions, if you convert a traditional IRA balance into a Roth, you'll have to wait at least 5 years before you can withdraw any of those assets, or until you turn 59 and a half, whichever occurs first, so keep that in mind. Next, if you think you're going to do Roth conversions down the road, go ahead and build up some savings outside of a tax advantage space so you can pay the tax bill for that. A lot of times what happens if you convert a traditional to Roth, a lot of people, if they don't have cash available, they have to cannibalize or use the Roth assets in order to pay the tax bill. You don't really want to do that. And the reason is you can't put more money into the Roth. You can convert as much as you have in traditional, but you can't add money from outside the account, at least not more than the annual maximum contribution limit each year. Next, maybe you're watching this and you think, I can't contribute to a Roth anyway, my income doesn't allow that. There's actually a path to contribute to a Roth IRA called the Backdoor Roth IRA. We're not going to cover it in this video, but we'll provide a link to a post we've done on our website about it. We're also shooting a video about that, which we'll link in the description, and we'll put a link above whenever we finish it. Finally, a lot of you probably, when you saw the example of Affluent Adam, you may have felt like you couldn't really relate. Well, if you save 15 to 25% of your income each and every year, like we recommend on the Next Dollar Roadmap, odds are you will run into an RMD problem one day. You probably will have that much saved. The real question is, how long will that money be growing in the account? If you have a decent income and you're a diligent saver, even a median income, there's no reason you shouldn't have millions of dollars literally in your retirement account once you reach retirement age. As always, we've got lots of great stuff on our website. We'll put some links in the description below to some other posts that are similar to this one. We're also available on the social channels on your screen. As always, we are grateful for your interest in our videos. Thanks for watching. God bless and take care.